What's up, K-pop and juice family? If you're new here, this is the place where we spill the gist fresh, hot, juicy, and totally unfiltered. And if you're one of our day one subscribers, you already know we don't just talk headlines. We break down the emotions, the details, the energy behind the moment. Today's story is soft, it's powerful, and it's the kind of content that makes you pause your scrolling and smile. Because when we talk about power couples in K-drama history, we have to talk about Hyun and Son Ye-jin. Yes, that couple. The couple that made us believe fiction can turn into real life. The couple whose love story began on screen in Crash Landing on You and continued into one of the most celebrated marriages in Korean entertainment. But today, we're not talking red carpets. We're not talking awards. We're not talking box office numbers. We're talking about something much deeper. We're talking about an Everland trip that quietly proved the true meaning of parenting. And trust me, this is a lesson for every family. So grab your juice, settle in, and let's talk. Now, for those who may not know, Everland isn't just any amusement park. Everland is one of South Korea's biggest and most iconic theme parks. Roller coasters, animal safari, flower gardens, family rides. It's a place where childhood memories are made. And when fans began whispering that Hyun and Son Ye-jin had been spotted there with their son, the internet didn't explode the way it usually does with celebrity sightings. Instead, something different happened. People melted. Because what witnesses described wasn't flashy, it wasn't dramatic, it wasn't staged, it was normal. And in today's celebrity culture, normal is rare. According to fan accounts, the couple didn't arrive with a massive entourage. No dramatic security wall. No celebrity energy that pushes people away. They were dressed casually, blending in, focused on one thing, their child. Hyun reportedly carried their son comfortably, adjusting his cap when the sun got too bright. Son Ye-jin stayed close, pointing out colorful attractions, bending slightly to speak at eye level. And that detail right there? That's parenting. Not posing, not performing, being present. Now pause for a second and ask yourself, when was the last time you saw celebrity parents genuinely relaxed in public with their child? Not for a photo shoot, not for a brand deal, not for a curated Instagram moment, just living. That's what made this Everland trip powerful. It wasn't about luxury, it wasn't about showing off, it was about time. Hyun is known for his intense, composed aura. Whether it's his performance in romantic dramas or action-packed roles, he often carries this calm, masculine energy that commands attention. Son Ye-jin, on the other hand, has always been praised for her warmth, that soft yet strong presence that makes her characters feel real. And seeing those two energies come together in parenting, that's poetry. Witnesses mentioned how they took turns carrying their child instead of leaving everything to one parent. Hyun didn't walk ahead while Son Ye-jin followed. They moved together. When the baby seemed restless, both leaned in. When something caught the child's attention, both reacted. That teamwork sends a quiet but powerful message. Parenting is not a solo role, it's partnership. And if you followed their journey from co-stars to married couple to parents, you'll notice something consistent: balance. After the birth of their son, Son Ye-jin stepped back slightly from heavy schedules, but she didn't disappear. Hyun also adjusted his workload. He didn't chase every possible project. They recalibrated. That word right there is important. Recalibrated. Because in many industries, especially entertainment, there's pressure to keep going, keep producing, keep shining, but they chose something different. They chose presence over pressure, and that Everland trip symbolized it. Think about it. Everland is crowded, loud, chaotic. It's not the easiest place to take a small child, but that's exactly why it matters. Parenting isn't about controlled environments all the time. It's about letting your child experience joy, noise, wonder. It's about kneeling down and saying, "Look at that tiger," even if you've seen it 100 times before. Fans who saw them described Hyun smiling more openly than they expected, not the polite celebrity smile, a father's smile. Son Ye-jin reportedly laughed freely, not worried about who was watching. And that's when it hits you. They weren't there as stars, they were there as mom and dad. Now let's talk about something deeper. Why did this moment resonate so strongly with the public? Because in a world where family structures are constantly under pressure, from work stress, financial demands, digital distractions, Seeing two high-profile individuals prioritize simple family time feels grounding. It tells ordinary parents, you're not behind. It tells fathers, your presence matters. It tells mothers, you don't have to do it alone. In many cultures, parenting responsibilities still fall heavily on mothers. Fathers are sometimes praised just for showing up. But Hyun didn't help, he parented. There's a difference. Helping implies it's not your primary responsibility. Parenting implies shared ownership, and that distinction is huge. Let's also not ignore the symbolism. Their love story in Crash Landing on You was about crossing borders, risking everything, choosing love despite obstacles. In real life, they've crossed into a new territory, parenthood. And instead of dramatizing it, they're living it quietly. That quiet confidence, that's maturity. Ye-jin once shared in interviews how much she values stability and warmth. Hyun has spoken about responsibility and protecting what he loves. Those words now look different when you see them walking through a theme park with their child. Words become actions. And actions build legacy. Another thing fans noticed? They didn't seem glued to their phones. No constant scrolling, no checking updates. Their attention stayed mostly on their child. That's rare. Because let's be honest, even at family gatherings, how many of us get distracted? Notifications, messages, work emails. But imagine being a child and seeing your parents fully focused.